Hello and welcome. I'm Margaret Ann, the author of many books and decks and such on the power of positive thought and working with intention regarding gemstones and essential oils and aromatherapy. So tonight, this is the last of the series of the rainbow of crystals and gemstones. Clear and white stones is our final, the grand finale. Doo, 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 doo. So tonight we are going to delve into I have quite a few slides for you, so I may zip through to get it all done because this is a mini workshop, but this presentation isn't so mini. So the clear and white stones are primarily aligned with the crown chakra and the third eye center. So if you are familiar with your chakra system, which I've done workshops for you for that, and you can watch them on my YouTube channel, so feel free to find those. But basically, the crown chakra is your connection with the divine and higher consciousness and your spiritual nature. And that's how I like to approach working with gemstones is to develop not only personal personality and personal development, but also spiritual development and spiritual connection with higher consciousness and whatever that means to you personally. And so the crown chakra is very much in that regard, and it is the halo that surrounds the head, which is white. It is white with some nice movement of iridescence, which we have some beautiful iridescent gems tonight. And the third eye chakra is back in the middle of the brain, behind the center of your forehead. And that is also very much a connection with the divine, but also our intuition, our innate intuition, our innate ability to know, hear, see, sense, feel, even smell on an intuitive level. So all these gemstones, that's true for. So now here's clear quartz, and I'm going to start from the very beginning because back when I was a mortgage banker, before the crystal garden was even a twinkle in my eye, I used to go mining for crystals and shopping for crystals in Arkansas and doing home shows back in the mid 80s. Then in 87, when the stock market crashed, I opened the crystal garden. In the meantime, until I got my, senior management level job, which I do have, but here at the crystal garden, my store in Palm Beach County. And so this is me on a pile of beautiful clay in the Wichita Mountain Range in Arkansas. I was on Miller Mountain, owned by, what is the name of that family? I can't think of the family name right now. But anyway, so I was mining for crystals, and I wanted to show you what a mound looks like. Now, this is an old photograph, so it's a picture of a picture, and it was a picture of a picture with somebody who put some funny little captions. I didn't do that. But that was you dig in the soil and this beautiful clay to uncover these magnificent gemstones. And the reason that they're so clear is they run them through, and I've done this also for the ones that I've mined, is they go through oxalic acid bath to get the stain of the clay off of them, and then they become clear like this. And this is a beautiful clear quartz crystal. Now, from one of my books, Crystals Beyond Beginners, is a nice little synopsis of clear quartz clusters and how to work with them. So, if you wish at a later time, if you want to rewatch this, because I am going to go kind of quick, you can pause the screen at this point and read that excerpt out of my book. Basically, you're talking about a cluster, which you can see a beautiful cluster on the cover of the book. Thank you, Llewellyn, for making such a beautiful cover for me. And it has a foundation, and all the crystals are sharing the same matrix, which on a symbolic level has a lot to do with how we are all connected. We are all one. We are one. We are together, and this is a community. We have a shared foundation, which is Mother Earth. And so this can represent working in community and also, of course, with clarity and focus. So I'm going to go through the variety, not every single type, but many of the types of quartz crystals with their different facets. So on this particular screen, you can see a picture of a window crystal, which has an additional facet that actually is a diamond shape. And I'm going to put my cursor over here. I'm not sure if you can see my cursor moving, but I'm moving it over that particular portion. That is the window. And that is good gemstone to work with when you want to go inward, when you want to look into the window of your soul and to know yourself. You know, self knowledge is the key to self realization and to personal development and also spiritual evolvement. So that's one way to work with that, and it's usually through meditation and intention. I believe that all our work with gemstones is with intention. The gemstone doesn't miraculously do stuff for us. It's our intention and why we're working with that crystal. So this is a picture of a one of my gemstones, a tabular quartz crystal that also happens to be a relationship crystal. See how there's two of them side by side with each other. And so that particular stone is really good for communication with your loved one, for mind to mind and heart to heart communication, and telepathic linking too, for telepathy. And so here is a beautiful affirmation on this one. I wrote this a long time ago, and I came across this particular meme, if you will, in my search for finding a pretty tabby to show you. We have some really nice tabbies that we're going to have on the show tonight on the Facebook Shop the Crystal Garden from Home event. Okay, so I communicate from my heart directly to the hearts of others. I attract healthy, harmonious relationships in my life. They see my magnificence and accept me as I am, exactly as I am. So I do have a card in the Angels and Gemstone Guardians card deck, as you can see here on the right-hand side, the Angel of Telepathy. So this is something that everybody has the ability to do. When I was a little girl, my mother taught me telepathy, my sister as well, and that mind to mind linking, heart to heart, sending pictures and emotions from your heart and mind to the heart and mind of someone else. Well, you've probably done it, and you probably have someone who has responded to you based on what you are thinking. Herkimer Diamonds are from Herkimer, New York. They are not actual diamonds. That's the name of this type of crystal, because diamonds are not quartz, but these Herkimers grow in Herkimer, New York, and they're in pockets, excuse me, in the mountain where they actually mine them differently. They're mined in concretions. They have their pockets in almost like a concrete tickle in my throat. So the Herkimers are good for recalling dreams, for having a lot of energy. So you can utilize a Herkimer by using them in meditation or putting one on your nightstand, and with the intention of you remembering your dreams or being able to interpret or know. So not only interpret your dreams, but I often don't remember my dream, but I know the answer when I wake up. And so I'm not overly caught up in whether or not I remember exactly what happened in a dream. Although I do like to remember dreams, that's fun. And there is a lot of symbology in the dream time. So a channeling quartz crystal has a seven-sided face with a three-sided face behind it. So this is just a little example, and you can see here, hopefully you can see my cursor, my little arrow. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you go up 5, 6, and 7. That is a seven-sided face. And directly behind that, on the opposite side of the crystal, when you flip it around, there is a triangle. So that's a 7-3 configuration. There's another type of channeling quartz that's called a Dow, D-O-W crystal, named after Jane Ann Dow, who first observed this formation, which is 7-3, 7-3, 7-3 configuration. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about there's a seven-sided face, a three-sided face, a seven-sided face, a three-sided face, a seven-sided face, and a three-sided face on the top of the crystal, on the point of the crystal. And so that has a very strong energy to assist you in aligning with the divine, for divinely inspired information to tap into and download music, projects, books, whatever it is that your intention is at this time to connect with. Like I said, I'm doing this quickly because I have a lot of slides. So, laser wands, and we have some nice looking laser wands, let me tell you, tonight on our show. Um, so this is the way you can tell a laser wand is that at the bottom of the laser wand, it's much bigger at the base, and then typically it narrows up to the point at the top, as you can see here on the right-hand side of the screen. They often have hieroglyphic type etchings on the sides or what I call steps, like lines that look like little, steps. And I find that a lot of times people call these Lemurian crystals, but I know them as laser wands or singing crystals because so often when you clank them together very gently, there will be a sound that sounds like the crystals are singing. And you can use this for helping you to stay focused. Like this particular crystal on the right, these pictures are from my personal collection. This particular one I would hold when I was doing building medicine wheels and facilitating storytelling. I would be telling stories for each position in medicine wheel during big workshops. So, there might be 40, 60, maybe even more people outside in the beautiful weather. But we were building, a medicine wheel, and I needed to be able to stay focused as the facilitator but also to maintain a cohesive energy of the group. And so I would hold on to this with that intention, and it seemed to help. I mean, that was my intention, and that's the whole point of working with crystals is the power of your own personal intent. So the affirmation, I focus easily on the infinite wisdom of the ancient ones. Fine pointed clarity resides in my heart and mind, bringing me all the knowledge I need. It is with clear intention that I move forward, self assured and confident. So that's a vibrationally matching affirmation or positive thought form to use. And you can find out this information in my book, The Essential Guide to Crystals, Minerals, and Stones, as you can see here on the screen. So this next crystal is an Isis quartz point, and it's a five-sided point. Here it's outlined, and you can see it looks a little different on the left side as it does on the right side. The right side picture is from my personal collection, and this is the photograph that's in my book. And then on the left side, I happened to find on the internet many, many years ago, where it's outlining. So you count the facet, the lines of the facet, the geometrics. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see me moving my cursor? I hope you can. And the same here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5, the number 5 in numerology is the number of change. Isis quartz has a lot to do with change and the impermanence of all life. And I would tell the long story about Isis and her life, Isis and Osiris and Tot and Set, and oh my goodness, it's such a great story, but it will take too long for this particular workshop. So just so you know, there is a type of crystal called an Isis point, and you can read about it in my book, both in my first book, Chakra Awakening, as well as in the Essential Guide to Crystals, Minerals, and Stones, because I do write the stories in both. So here's Apophyllite, which Pune, India, these are from. It's in the zeolite family of gemstones, often with some stilbite inclusions to go with it. And these are clusters, beautiful clusters of apophyllite, which at first glance, if you're not a trained eye initially, that looks like a quartz cluster, but it's a different formation than quartz. And here on the right-hand side is an apophyllite point. These are great for a third eye stone. As you can see, I put the mandala or the symbol for the third eye here on the upper left-hand side. And during meditation or when I facilitate crystal alignments, either in a group session with quite a few people in the room or one individual crystal alignments, I love to place an apophyllite point on the forehead your own personal little unicorn horn. But let me tell you, there is something about the energy of an apophyllite on your third eye center, beautiful energy, and it really does help you center and focus and go within. So you might want to get yourself one of those. This is a really close-up picture of record keeper quartz. This is my personal stone, one of my personal favorites. It's a very enlarged, so I could show you on the screen. It's actually an celestial crystal, which is mine is a smoky celestial. As you can see, it's a little bit lighter. But record keeper quartz have these triangle formations. Now, if you really look at this, and if you want to rewatch this and then expand your, scissor open your screen so you can see it closer, there are, I bet, 100 triangles on this particular face. But let's see if I can get my little cursor here. See this right here? There's two big ones right there. There's one there. There's another one there. They're all over. Here's a big one here. And in this crystal, you can't see it in this picture. There's a whole bunch on the side of this facet over here. So record keeper crystals are have these triangle formations that are naturally forming. Nobody's carved that into the stone. They come out of the earth, and this is what's there, already there. And I like having this near me when I am working on manuscripts, when I'm writing books, when I'm creating decks. And I really attribute the many, many, I want to say, years that I've spent with this particular stone that has helped me tap into what I'm supposed to bring forth, what records I'm supposed to bring onto planet Earth through my work. And so you too have that ability depending on what it is that you're doing on planet Earth, like what your sole purpose is. So you probably have some record keeper quartz in your collection if you already have clear quartz crystals or smoky quartz or celestials. You probably have that. Selenite. So I had to throw in a fishtail selenite just because I haven't seen one in so long. This happens to be mine. It's a beautiful piece. But selenite is named after the goddess Selene because of the way that the shimmers and shines, because Selene was the goddess of the moon. And you can see there's another variation of selenite on the right-hand side. This is a little snippet from my actual book, The Essential Guide to Crystals, Minerals, and Stones. And I love to work with selenite for so many reasons. A lot of people believe that you can't put it in water or near water, or it can't get wet and it's going to melt. But I've had selenite outside for months and months on end with rain, tropical rain here in Florida, as well as my sprinkler system. And it diminished a little bit, but one of those big logs, it's still a big log. Now it's inside my front door, and that's where I recommend keeping selenite I like it in my bedroom. I have some selenite skyscraper lamps in my bedroom. And I also like to keep them by the front door so that it's an automatic cleansing for going in and out of the home, no matter who's coming in or out of the home, my home. My intention is to bring more light and clear away anything that's not for the highest good. It's a great stone for people who do body work. It's a great stone for people who have muscular discomfort and need to get their muscles and bones in alignment. It's a stone of a chiropractor or a body worker for sure. So I like this. I have access to the ancient wisdom stored within me. And with selenite in hand, you can tap into that. So opal. So some people believe that if you buy an opal for yourself, it's bad luck. Have you heard that? I have heard that, but I don't believe that. I've bought myself opal, and I'm very, very lucky. It's the birthstone for Libra, and I'm a Libran, and I have an opal ring. I don't have it on tonight, but I do have an opal ring that I love that I bought for myself. And all these years later, I'm still very lucky. So buy yourself an opal if you want. So this is a great stone if you wanted to connect with your emotions as well as the watery um, uh, fairy folk, if you will, Davic forces of water. Here, it's right here in front of me. The watery vibration of opal makes this stone a perfect tool for connecting with the Davic forces of water. This is literally a snippet out of my book. I cut it out to show you, including all the devas of the Undine family, of which merfolk and water sprites are but a few. And it goes on. So, this last sentence here, ancient Greeks believed the opal had the power of giving foresight and the light of prophecy to its owner. If you need foresight and you want to work with an opal, give it a go. Try it. So, oh, I meant to have my opalite right after. That's okay. We'll get to opalite. So, this desert rose, this is selenite again. So, this is another form of selenite, but I really wanted to get this message from selenite, if you could call it a selenite rose or a desert rose. I actually, when I did my vision quest in Arizona, I actually was on a mountain where I actually saw one right there in the desert. Not one, multiple pieces of selenite and selenite roses as they were in the earth, just naturally forming. But the message here is, notice this phraseology, sacred heart. For every stone in my book, I've given a quick quick key phrase or key words. The message is cultivate a kinder and more loving attitude, and you'll notice agitating circumstances diminishing. Open your heart to the divine. You are a blessing here on earth. Be the overflowing vessel of divine love. So, if you want to work toward achieving that, I highly recommend trying to play with, use, work with desert rose. And it comes in a couple of different formations, which is why I have more than one photo here on this screen. You can also work with desert rose, selenite rose, to help you transform ideas, to manifest it, to bring it into reality, and also to consciously create desired circumstances. With or without a stone in hand, I do want to say you can consciously create desired circumstances. It's all up to you. So Moonstone. So Moonstone comes in a lot of different shades, but for this photo I chose the more white ones. The white regular, what I call the white regular Moonstone. The middle photo is a picture of rough Moonstone. This is what we have in stock now, and the one on the far right is actually a rainbow Moonstone. Um, Now, Moonstone is really helpful to access the divine feminine within you, your connection with receptivity, with your intuition, and of course with the moon and the cycles of the moon. Notice the key phrase for Moonstone is extraordinary awareness. Extraordinary awareness. So situational awareness, paying attention to what's going on within your own consciousness, what thoughts you're having, but also what's going on around you, being very present to see what's happening. And your life is so much easier when that is true. All right, so how did Opal get here twice? Look at that. All right, Opalite. So I wanted to bring up Opalite. It is a glass. It is man-made glass, and sometimes when you're depending on who you're shopping with and where you're getting it, sometimes they'll just call it opal. I've even had different mala beads that they call it opal mala beads, but they're not. They're opalite, and they are glass, but they are gorgeous. So I just wanted you to know that that exists and that it is made of man-made. Scolocite. So scolocite is a vibrational stone that really helps you connect with energy of angels and having an easy flow. Well, here it is, the key phrase, on the wings of angels. So if you are someone who likes to work with angels and wants to get more connected with the angelic realm, that's a good one. Dalmatian Jasper. So black and white. We're having a black and white vibe. Notice the shirt, black and white for you. So the black and white is also to note that this is not just about loyalty and unconditional love, which it is very much about that, this stone, as far as I'm concerned. It's also about seeing things and how things shift in their spots. Like, that expression, something like they keep changing their spots. They keep changing the way that they are acting or doing. So this is to help you be consciously aware of changing spots, so to speak, and also to see that within the light there's darkness, and the flip stone would be snowflake obsidian, which is within the darkness there is light, because snowflake obsidian is a black stone with white dots, and this is a white stone with black dots. And sometimes you can get this. We have it some dyed ones with it being red and blue, but I like the natural formation. And this is about loyalty, cultivating and maintaining meaningful relationships, being faithful to yourself, loyal to yourself, as well as to the people in your life. Zebra Jasper. It's black and white is the key phrase. And this is beneficial for someone who's a writer or if you're avoiding the writing process. So, with this stone in hand, you can sit down and put the pen to paper, and it can help you with gaining clarity and sort through details of a project. So, I like to work with this for writing. Here's my from my deck, the Gemstone Guardians and Your Soul Purpose. It matches with the journalist card, because journalists hopefully have are objective observers. They observe life objectively and report what's going on, not their opinions. Report what's going on. Anyway, so magnesite has to do with relaxing and renewing and releasing, and to release tension and let go of troublesome thoughts and have renewed clarity, to see life with new eyes. And so I like this last sentence of this affirmation, which is my creative nature supports my ability to renew myself at any stage of life and at any time. Magnesite, howlite. I love howlite. It's such a pretty stone. So the background of this slide is also a slab, if you will, of howlite, and then the this is a excuse me, matching up with the angel of purification. This is about connecting with the moon and the moon cycles. To be open to your intuitive skills. It's a reminder to drink plenty of water, which I needed desperately, and to take time to be in the water or near water. So maybe get in your pool if you have one, or go to the seaside or a lake and spend time near some water. It's helpful for purifying. And I love this affirmation. Blessings. I'm looking at at the right hand side under Angel of Purification. This is the flip side of this card. Blessings flow through me like a healing river. Mm, mm, Healing river, I'll take it. Voila! I did it. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of slides there, and I did it in the half hour. So I want to thank you so much for being part of this and listening. I promised it would go fast because we had to make it stay within the half hour that I promised. And so next week I will do another free mini workshop at 6 p.m. Same time, same channel, so to speak, and it's going to be on smudging and clearing spaces. So I hope you'll join me. And then for those of you that don't already know it, directly after this, I'm going to end this particular little presentation, and then we'll come right back to the Crystal Garden Facebook page, and we're going to have a beautiful Shop the Crystal Garden from home, and that happens every Tuesday at 6:30. May you have a beautiful evening. May your days be filled with blessings and love, and may the angels light your path. Thank you so much for watching.